heart, don't bite your tongue, don't get it twisted, don't misuse. What's your problem? Let's resolve. We can solve what's the causes.
What's up, peeps? This your boy Manny E. Welcome to the Manny E Corner, back for another episode of album flashback. It's where, if you haven't saw the last one, it's where I take an album from the past, 10 plus years back, basically, revisit that album, do another album review on it, kind of talk about, where I was or how the music affected me when it first came out, and then talk about, how I feel about the album in present day. So today's album, we're going to be doing the album that was actually requested in the comments in my last album flashback video, and we're going to be doing Aaliyah's self-titled album, her last album, that came out in 2001, Aaliyah. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it and chop it on up. So when Aaliyah's third album came out, of course, she had already had 2 albums under her belt, and it had been a minute since people had heard her, on music-wise. I mean, she did songs here and there, like she did "Are You That Somebody" for the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. She did what's that song? Dang, I forget the one with DMX for "Romeo Must Die." But by the time this album really came out, she had really kind of carved this, imprint of her as Aaliyah, the actress. So I felt like when this album came out or whatnot, she was still in that acting mode or whatnot. Even when you go back to like past interviews with Timbaland and Missy, both of them even say that she was not ready for this album or whatnot. And to be honest, I don't think that a lot of people was ready for this album as well. This album was very, very different as far as what we had heard from Aaliyah before. We had Aaliyah with Age Ain't Nothing But a Number with R. Kelly, being the culprit of that particular project. Then, on the second album, 1 in a Million, she really teamed up with Timbaland and Missy, and they did most of the album or whatnot. So, when the third album came out, of course, she really, I guess in her mind set the bar, trying to change and switch things up. Timbaland and Missy at that time actually had other obligations and things that they were doing, so they couldn't commit themselves fully to the album. So you had a few tracks from Timbaland, but most of it was written and I think produced by Static Major and his crew. Now going back to this album, we had classic jams off this album, like We Need a Resolution, the track Never No More, that was a dope track. We had More Than a Woman, we had the smash hit, Rock the Boat. But when you go back and you actually look back at that time or whatnot, this album wasn't actually doing that great when Aaliyah was alive. Unfortunately, that same year she ended up passing away in a plane accident, but that kind of really boosted the sales of that album. But when you go back to that time and actually go back and do research and look or whatnot, that album really wasn't selling as good as people had hoped for it. But the album was still, to me, to this day, a classic album. It was when Aaliyah basically solidified herself as being a woman. She had pretty much grew out of that teen image, because on her first record she was definitely, that teen that was kind of talking about things that was a little bit out of her age range, if you ask me. Then you had 1 in a Million, where she was forming into this just beautiful young lady or whatnot. So when this album came out, she was full legal and full grown, and so you can tell that she kind of tapped into different elements or whatnot, and more mature elements, and even more sensual sounds, and just overall just a more adult contemporary type project. Now of course back then, the album to me is a total amazing classic, but back then some of my favorite tracks on the album was of course We Need a Resolution. I thought that track was dope, and the video was off the chain. It was just like, man, she was just so beautiful in that video. Man. Another track on that album I love was Loose Rap. I just love the beat. Of course Static Major wrote the song or whatnot. Getting better. You're sick and tired of that loose rap. Man, that song was amazing. I remember back in the day I used to play that song over and back to back, over and over. just a dope track, and it was very different because we was used to hearing her on Timberland beats, but it was very different, and it was kind of different. It wasn't a Timberland sound, but it was still fresh, it was still modern. And remember, at that time we was just coming into the new millennium when this album came out, so it was very fresh, you know, and was really along the lines of, you know, futuristic R&B at that time. The next track that I used to love was More Than a Woman. I'll never forget when that video came out or whatnot. I mean, that song right there, you know, and it was another song that really showed us, you know, of course we referred to Aaliyah as being baby girl, but she wasn't a baby girl, she was a woman. And it just, you know, it just really just showcased just performance and her vocals and, you know, all that is, or all that was Aaliyah. After going back, matter of fact, a few maybe a month or two ago, I found myself listening to the album, you know, just going back and revisiting with the album, and it made me kind of sad, you know, just because I'm a big Aaliyah fan, and she was loved by a lot of people, and it's sad that, you know, she has left us, you know, and nobody can fill that void. Of course, they put out the posthumous album where they, you know, did some of her hits with some songs that was unreleased or whatever, and I have that album too. But yeah, it was just something about this album, and, you know, one thing about this album, it was very eerie. You know, when this album came out, it was, you know, she was just a different person, you know, a good thing, of course, you know, but you can just tell that she was making that transition. You know, we all know that she's flying with the angels. So again, rest in peace, baby girl. I never forget, like on her birthday and on the day that she died, I always put up something like on Instagram or whatever, because Aaliyah was just incredible soul and spirit. Just art. Definitely loved this album. Loved all the Aaliyah's albums, you know, and definitely this album, it means more now since it's been such a long time ago. So when you go back and listen to it, it puts you back in that mindset of, oh, I was doing this, or I was doing that, you know. So yeah, but it is a classic. It's definitely a classic album, and it definitely cannot be duplicated. Well, that's all I got for this album. Put in the comments below. Tell me, how did y'all feel about this album back in the day? Do you still feel the same way now? Please put it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Again, thank you to the person who suggested that I do an album flashback on this. Thank you so much. Now, go ahead and click that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. The channel is the Man E Corner, where I put up new videos all the time. And if you like my album reviews, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. You know, I'm really trying to, you know, build this channel up. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Thank you to everybody who watched videos. Thank you to everybody who likes, comments, all that great stuff. Greatly appreciated. And as always, I am your boy Manny Ezo. The channel is the Man E Corner, and I'll see y'all in the next video. All right, peace. Have a blessed week.